Hey guys, so I am. What the fuck? Okay. Hopefully the audio sorts itself now. Let me know if it's okay. Damn. But I am back with another stream. As if you haven't had enough of me, I am joined by Scott, who runs the Twitter account for Carefree Youth, which is absolutely insane. I've been following you for like years, I think like at least 2 years, something crazy like that. And we've been planning to have a stream together for ages, and it's just been so difficult to schedule because I'm so freaking busy and sick. And yeah, but I'm super excited to have him on. Scott, thank you so freaking much for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, as you said, we've been trying to get this planned for many weeks and maybe months, to be honest. But yeah, we finally got here, even if it has been a hard one, even for today.
We made it. I am exhausted, but I am super excited as well. So I think the adrenaline is just going to push me through, and then I'm going to crash tonight. So it's good to sleep well, though. Premier League men's football is back. This international break, I don't know about you, but for me, it's honestly felt like so long. Like normally, I don't feel like that they feel like so long, but this felt like it's been forever since we've seen Chelsea play. What about you?
Yeah, just the same as you. It's felt an age because now in my job, we'll probably get onto. I kind of cover Chelsea every day, and when it's an international break, things are a little bit dire to try and get content out where you're writing things where we just want football back, don't we? We want to watch Chelsea and then talk about the matches instead of just waiting for matches for 2 weeks. It's a long wait.
Yeah, and I feel like you must get it even more, but for me, it's kind of like a schedule almost. Like I know I have to put the preview video, the review, and then like all of the midweek coverage as well. We just haven't had that. Thank you guys to everybody who's joined. I do want to make sure that I get to as many comments as possible. So Hams, 4 players out, but up the Chelsea. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't get to catch Thomas Tuchel's press conference today. I think the players he's talking about are Rudiger, Silva, Pulisic, and Ziyech. Yeah. How are you feeling about that? Because I was talking to Olivia like half an hour ago or so, and we were trying to think like, what is this Chelsea backline going to be against Brentford? And does it make you a little bit nervous going into this game?
A little bit nervous, yeah, because Rudiger's been that guy that's pretty much nailed down left centre-back position, hasn't he, since Tuchel arrived, and not having him in the starting 11 is a little bit of a worry because he's played every game, hasn't he, that we've needed him this season. And as you say, we've got Reece James that's probably come back, but is he fully fit to play a full 90 minutes is a worry. And then it's probably potentially going to be Aspilicueta, Christensen and Trevoh Chalobah. I'm just guessing, prediction, like because I don't think he'll pick Malang Sarr. He started him in the League Cup match, but I don't think he'll start him in this one. So that back three, I'm a little bit worried because Brentford aren't that team where I thought there was going to be. I expected them to be like the kind of okay team, but not what they're doing right now. The fact they beat Arsenal at home and then they drew against Liverpool at home, it's made me think, right, let's not just think of these as the easy game and things like that. These are going to be somebody that come at you and try and score. So I am actually a bit nervous about this one.
Yeah, I think like their supporters and their fan base in the stadium also, they're just so incredibly strong. And you touched on that they won against Arsenal on opening day. That was just like so iconic. And seeing that definitely makes me nervous. Like that being said, I do think Chelsea should win this game, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as some people are making it out to be. Like, I do think that Brentford are a really strong side. I think they're currently 7th in the Prem last time I checked.
I think so, yeah.
And and I feel like they're going to attack, and then it does make me like a little bit nervous that we don't have our usual defense. And normally I feel like most people can kind of come in and out, and there wouldn't be that much disruption to the back line. Like when Thiago Silva got injured, Christensen came in and was absolutely brilliant. And then you kind of have Azpilicueta and Chalobah. Christensen can also play right center back if needed. But for that left center back role, Rudiger is really the only one that's been playing there, except for that one game for Saul. I was like thinking about my fantasy team, how I also have Saul in my fantasy team, have a different Saul. And I'm thinking, like, who do you go for in that left center back spot? And what we kind of thought about was maybe Azpilicueta, because the man is so versatile.
Yeah.
He's played across the entire back line. I don't need to tell you guys how much I love Aspie. You all know it. I was joking that my Twitter account's turning into like an Aspie stan account. I just tweeted about him recently, and I was like, I need to tweet about something else. This is getting creepy. But that's kind of my prediction. I think we could see Azpilicueta there. But what about you?
Good shout. I'm predicting Trevoh Chalobah. For his on loan last season, he played in midfield at Lorient, but when he went to a back three in the defence, he did kind of sometimes play left centre back. So I'm just hoping he can kind of fill in, because this is maybe his chance to get a run in the team. If Rudiger's back, he's in 100%, and Malmo's next, isn't it? Where you could see where he might rest players and think rest Rudiger and not risk him. So it could be 2 games in a row that Chalobah could play back to back with. So Azpilicueta, yeah, but Chalobah is a shout for me.
How impressive has Chalobah been? Because to be honest with you, he wasn't on my radar for one of the academy players to make it into the first team this year. And I know you know so much about the academy. So did you foresee his rise to the Chelsea first team this season? And did you foresee that he would be playing as good as he has been?
No, I'll be honest with you. I started to doubt myself. I go through stages where you think, yeah, this player's going to get a chance, and then, but the way Chelsea is, when we had Mark Guehi just coming back from having a really good season at Swansea, I thought that was his chance to get into the team, and Chalobah's chance was basically just in case if somebody got injured, or we sold, like we did tell Zuma, but if we sold another defender as well, he might get a chance then. But I was always expecting him maybe to get a chance in midfield, to be honest. With us needing a midfielder and never really getting Declan Rice and things like that, I thought that might be his way into the side. But since he's come in, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? He scored on the opening Premier League game, and his emotions for that goal just made it even that much sweeter. Just seeing a player just have that emotion of scoring a goal for Chelsea and how much it meant to him just made it even better for a fan to just see.
Yeah, I mean, I got chills when I saw that. I was like, just look how much it means to him.
Yeah.
The celebration was brilliant. He just recently scored, was it against Southampton?
He scored the opening goal, didn't he? Yeah.
I'm terrible for remembering these things. But yeah, he looks so strong. I'm really happy for him. So I do agree that I think he's definitely going to be starting tomorrow. But it will be interesting to see if he plays at right center back, like how I think he would, or if he plays at left center back, like how you think he would. Another kind of interesting talking point in that defense is the left wing back position, because to be honest with you, Marcus Alonso played way more games than I expected that he was going to play. But he looked really good, and he was having a really good start to the season. Then the City game comes, the Juventus game. I don't think the team necessarily played well, so I'm not going to judge too harshly off of that. But I think he also had a good game in the international break, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And Ben Chilwell kind of coming in. He had a bit of a rocky start, maybe gave away the penalty, but then scored a goal as
Hmm.
well. Really good technique on that too. So who do you see starting in the long term as a left wing back, and who do you see starting in the Brentford game?
I'd love to know the answer to that, Elizabeth. I really would. As you know, I've got Alonso in my fantasy team. I picked him. I wildcarded last week, and I went, I'll go for a punt and I'll go Alonso because we've got easy fixtures. And I thought, yeah, attacking wise, he'll get some points. And now I'm humming and ahhing about selling him or keeping him for one more game week because he's actually fit and Rudiger's not, and he's in my team as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Aspilicueta. I mean, Chilwell, I expect to start getting more game time now. Now he's a bit more fit and his confidence is there. It's going to be interesting because we've got that Malmo game, haven't we? And I feel like that's one where he can kind of rotate a lot. So whoever starts in this Brentford game, I think will miss out the next one in the Champions League and then play the next one, which is Norwich. Yeah, I expect that kind of rotation just for these ones where he kind of rotates and gives them both a chance, because what he did with that Southampton game, which was really good, he gave Ruben a chance, he gave Callum Hudson-Odoi a chance attacking wise, he gave Chilwell a chance, and they all kind of came out with flying colours, and that would have given them all confidence going into this, that they're not just even Ross Barkley, he came off the bench, didn't he? And he did well, and it's just like the whole squad now feels like it's challenging each other instead of just being like an 11 team what we all expect, and then these players just thinking like they're never going to get a chance. They all got that chance at Southampton and did well, where now Tuchel's got this really hard task of who does he pick and who doesn't he pick, and that left wing back position is the one where I couldn't call it.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's so 50-50 at this point. Miko says has to be Chilwell versus Brentford. But I do want to touch on something that you said, guys. In the meantime, feel free to ask us questions in the comment section. But it's a really good point that we saw last season, that everybody got a clean slate under Thomas Tuchel, and that people that were on the sidelines like Jorginho, Rudiger, Alonso, I'm trying to think if there were more. I don't remember. But people that weren't playing that often got like this new line of life under Thomas Tuchel, and we're seeing that again. I mean, I'm so incredibly happy for Ruben Loftus-Cheek because that injury was just horrendous. It's been, I think, 3 years, almost 3. Has it been 3 years? 2018-19. Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
Since around, or 2.5 since the injury, and he's been trying to get back to match fitness and goes on loan, doesn't really play that much, and he's looked so good. Ross Barkley's another one. I thought for sure he was leaving Chelsea, like for sure. And then he had that beautiful pre-assist to Aspie for the goal. So it really speaks a lot about Thomas Tuchel, and I think that it probably really unites the team a lot, because everybody has a fair chance. Everybody, if he's basically sent a message, if you train hard, if you work hard, you're going to get your chance, your shot to impress, and you're going to get game time. So do you see the likes of a Ruben or Barkley starting in this Brentford game?
Oh, Barkley, no. Barkley, just because I think Mason Mount will play in that attacking role, and I think Kante now being back from COVID and hopefully he's fit, I think he will start, and it'll be one of Kovacic or Jorginho with him, and Ruben will just have to kind of make an impact sub kind of appearance. But these are the things what he could really, really do well in. Coming off the bench, his pace, his power, his drive into spaces where other players wouldn't do in midfield. He could be, that could really help him unlock teams. You know, when we are struggling against teams that just sit back and defend, these might help Ruben to really kick on. So I don't expect him to start this one. But as I said, there's that Malmo one, there's Norwich one. I think the squad is going to get used a bit more these next ones, where he's going to take a few players out and keep people a little bit fresher, and it'll be helpful for the squad where they're all fighting for the positions and they're not feeling like they're all just nailed on starters. So that's what I think at the moment.
Yeah, that's a really good point, that there's going to be so many games in such short succession that the Thomas Tuchel really is going to need to rotate this side. So potentially the people that we don't see starting this Brentford game will start against Malmo or vice versa. The thing that I really feel that every time that Ruben Loftus-Cheek has stepped foot onto the pitch this season, he has been impressive. It seems like he's working his butt off. I feel like we're seeing glimpses of the old Ruben. He's dribbling, shielding the ball, using his body really well. I think he got an assist. And I really feel like he could potentially start one of those games, and he probably deserves it. And with Barkley, the thing with Barkley that's always been frustrating for me is that I feel that he has so much potential, but I feel that he's inconsistent. So I don't feel like that we ever see such a run of form. It always feels like you don't know which Barkley you're going to get. And so I would like to see him come on more and see if he can make an impact like how he did. I think it was against Southampton. It's been so long since the game. I'm pretty sure it's against Southampton. Guys, my Wi-Fi is like 1 bar right now, so hopefully it's keeping okay. I don't know what's going on with it. Hagen asks, is there a chance for Saul to start? I mean, we brought him in to kind of be, I think, a backup to Georgie, Kova, and Conte. But now it seems that Ruben and Barkley have really emerged over him. So do you think that Saul has a chance even to make an appearance? And also add to Hagen's question, do you think that it was a mistake getting Saul on loan for the season?
First question about him starting. As I said, I think it's going to be Jorginho and Kante or Kovacic that'll start. I think these next run of fixtures are perfect for him to keep coming off the bench and slowly get himself into the team and things like that, because he is still learning the way of the Premier League, the pace of it, and it's not just a simple thing of just, yes, he's gone to a new league, he's a good footballer, he's going to just slot right in. And I think with the midfielders that we've got, it doesn't mean that we have to just throw him in at the deep end. It's perfect for him to just slowly get himself in, and I'm just looking at him like turn of the year, January time, that's when he starts to kick in and hopefully starts to play more often. But I just want to see him slowly get himself in and not just throw him in at the deep end and just start him and then him have a bad game and then be out for a couple of weeks. I'd rather him come on for 20 minutes, make a bit of an impact, even if we won 2-0 up, and control the game and just get confidence that way, because his confidence might have got shot from that first Aston Villa game because he got dispossessed a few too many times, and I don't like to see it because he's a very good player. That's the disappointing thing about it. But I think these run of games that we've got, it's perfect for him to get some minutes, but maybe off the bench when we've killed off the game and things like that, or we're trying to unlock a team. He could come and bring some pace and, a bit more energy onto the pitch. If Jorginho or Conte or Kovacic is a bit tired, that's where I'd see him coming on and making an impact.
Yeah, I have to tell you, like, I really feel for him, like, on a personal level, because I listened to his Twitch stream before, like, right when he signed for Chelsea, and he was just so genuine, so authentic, and he was so honest. And I find that it's rare that you get that and have like such an honest interview. And he was saying that he knows that he hasn't been at his best, but he just wants to be at his best, and he's been at Atletico his entire life. So it's super difficult change for him to go to a new country, a new language, team, trainer, everything. Like, it's a lot to take in. And I think something that we've seen is that it takes players time to acclimate to the Premier League. And I imagine it must be even more difficult if you're just there on a loan and you don't really know like where your future is at the end of the year. But I feel like it takes usually at least a year, and then in the second year you typically see the best out of the players. So I really feel for him. Hopefully he can get back to his best, and hopefully we'll see him at some point, like you said, maybe more towards the new year. And just reading the comments. Hi, Leslie. Thanks so much for joining in and watching. So Nick has posted a starting 11, and I do want to ask you about a starting 11 because why not? I mean, it's so hard to predict. I don't think we're ever going to really predict a Thomas Tuchel starting 11. I think I've gotten it right like maybe twice in my life. But why not, right? Like we can always see how we do. So Nick said Mendy, Chalobah, Christensen, Aspie, James, Chilwell, Kova, Georgie, Mount, Werner, Lukaku, Conte to come on later. I was like, I think that's too many players, Nick, but then the sentence. So kind of using this as a template, do you agree with what Nick is saying, or what do you think about this starting 11? Anybody you would sub out?
I think it's there about. I just think Kante might start if he feels like he's fit. He's been training a couple of days, but other than that, there's just Alonso or Chilwell, and I think Chilwell might get the start because it's a Brentford and they're a bit more of an attacking threat. And then Alonso against Malmo will be looking to just attack kind of thing, and Alonso will have more license to just go forward. So I like that formation, and I do think it might be Werner and Lukaku up front with Mount just behind. Havertz has had a bit of an up and down bit of few months, and Werner's been scoring a couple of goals, and I think we should hopefully continue that confidence, and hopefully can score against Brentford and keep his confidence high. So I'd start him. So I don't see anything wrong with that formation except for maybe Kante starting. But as you say, it's kind of like Pep roulette, it's Tuchel roulette, isn't it? When you try and predict a lineup, it's hard.
Totally. I really like your point about Werner and Havertz, and I kind of want to get your thoughts as to why you think Kai is struggling, and I'll kind of give mine, and then you can agree or disagree. But I kind of have like a theory, so to speak, that, last year we didn't have a focal point. Kai was playing as a false nine or as the striker for Chelsea. And I feel that he's almost been like the most effective by Lukaku coming in, because now he's not playing in the same position. And I feel that the attack in general is having like a bit of difficulty figuring out how to play with Lukaku.
Yeah.
But Havertz especially, I think that he just hasn't figured it out yet, where somebody like Timo played I'm getting echo again. Somebody like Timo played with a second striker, and I think that that's where he's at his best. And so we're seeing that he's making the runs, that he's opening up space and channels, and that he's getting shots away, even if he's not scoring goals. I mean, the guy is just so unlucky. I think he has scored 16 disallowed goals, like something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, who does that happen to? That's insane. Like the poor guy. But I really like Timo, and I think he's a great player. So I personally would start him. But why? I'm going to ask you two questions. Why do you think this is happening with Kai? I want to get your thoughts. And do you think that, he will come back from this?
Why is it happening? Good question. I'd love to know the answer. I think Tuchel would love to know the answer as well, because there's a player in there that we've all seen in glimpses, even last season, the Champions League goal. He's just perfect. But in glimpses, he showed that he's very good on the ball. He's very good at winning play and things like that. I think it's more, as you say, it's linking up with Lukaku. It's a new thing for him, and I think the whole team, attacking wise, behind Lukaku have all struggled at times. Ziyech, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, they've all had the good times and they've all had the off times. But I expect that now we've got this kind of easy run of fixtures. It's very hard to get a good run of form when you're playing the likes of Liverpool, City, Tottenham. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think these run of fixtures is perfect for them all to start getting confidence, and I'm hoping they all just click now because they've had a few games playing with each other, a few weeks training with each other. Pre-season's not been like it usually is. So I'm hoping that just now the fans are back in the stadium, and I hope that just that support and everything like that, and I just expect them to start doing well now. So I do actually think that Havertz will start to kick on as well as Werner soon, and we'll start to score some more goals instead of just waiting for Lukaku to score a goal. Do you know what I mean? They're all struggling behind him, but I think the longer we go on this season, I think the attacking wise, they'll all click into gear and we'll start scoring goals all together, and it won't just be a one man Lukaku scoring goals kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird, I feel, because last season we created so many chances, but we didn't score goals. And then this season we haven't been creating that many chances. Yeah. And I actually don't think that we've played like that well, except maybe like the versus Liverpool, especially that first half. I thought we played very well. But other
Arsenal
than that,
first half, I thought we did well.
Which one? Which game? Sorry?
Against Arsenal, we went 2-0 with Lukaku and James. That we played well that game, but as you say, we've not really made us all go after a game like, wow, that was a really good performance kind of thing. We're just getting results, aren't we? At the moment, we're not playing well, and that's a really good thing to have. Really, it's not playing well and winning games is better than playing well and drawing or dropping points. So I'm taking it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, and I think something that says a lot. One, that we have so many different goal scorers. I think it's like 13 different goal scorers so far, something around there. But also that we're winning games by like pretty large margins, that we've had a couple of 3-0 wins, which is something that was so rare last season as well. But I feel that the team just doesn't know what to do with Lukaku yet. And even the goals that he scored, I felt like they were half chances and he had a lot to do, and he's brilliant and finished them. But then he has had some other chances that maybe even more straightforward, but hasn't. But I also don't think that he's been getting that many chances, or that the team's really been creating. I don't think he's gotten the ball much. I feel like there's been like a disjoint between the midfield and the attack, and that we don't quite know how to play with that like focal point in the attack yet. So that's something that I'm sure that Tuchel is going to sort out, and it's just going to take time, but it's just something that I've noticed, and I think it's interesting. And I think once we sort that, hopefully Lukaku can start scoring more goals, because I think I would have expected him to score maybe a few more than he has, but I'm also like, I want to see a Chelsea player score 20 plus goals this season. Like, I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Lukaku started so well, didn't he, and scored the goals. But as you say, they've never been like coming really often. He's been scoring chances and finishing off half chances and making the goals himself, kind of thing. Some of them ones were just him being so good that he kind of finished off half chances, as we say. So it's good, but we all thought he'd easily get 20 goals a season, kind of thing. And every week that goes on, we're kind of going, oh, there's another game gone and he's not scored or whatever. It's weird because we expect him to score every game. I think
that's why.
It's fantasy as well. When you've got him in your team, you expect him to score, and then you feel like you're cursing him as well.
Guys, I've seen some comments that I'm lagging. Like, please tell me if it's still crappy and I
No, you're
can
back
connect.
on now. You was,
I'm
you
back
was.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can connect to my phone hotspot. I'll try to pay attention to the comments. My Wi-Fi has been utter crap today, and I don't know why or how to fix it. So just bear with me. Let me know if it lags, and I'll connect to my phone hotspot, and hopefully that will be better. I'm sorry. Um, so Uzair asks, so sorry if I totally destroyed your name. Ellie, do you think it's the end for Ziyech and Pulisic? And I mean, you guys know me, a massive Pulisic fan as well, but he's been injured so often. I mean, I thought that he was just going to be out for a week or two, and it's been, I don't know, like more than a month. I feel it's been a while, and I feel sad for him because I think he's a really talented player and he can really affect games, but then he just can't seem to stay fit. And with Ziyech, I thought that I had really high expectations for him. I thought that he was going to be, out of all the players that we signed last year, I thought that he was going to be the one that made the most difference to Chelsea. And I feel that he's been underwhelming totally. Like he scored some or assisted some important goals in the Champions League. But other than that, I feel like he hasn't really found his footing in the Prem. He hasn't really been getting game time either. So, what are your thoughts about these players and especially for Ziyech? I think that that was very much like a Lampard signing. So, do you think that that affects like his time under Thomas Tuchel?
I've got more faith that Pulisic will be able to turn it around than Ziyech. I just don't see how Ziyech's going to fit into the formation that we're playing at the moment. He's kind of behind Havertz and Mount, and then there's Werner, isn't there? That's obviously the next one that you'd expect to come on and or start. So he's there behind them, and I think Pulisic offers something like Werner, where he can go behind Lukaku and running behind, and his pace can be something we can exploit other teams with. But with Ziyech, I feel like he's not used to his best of abilities with Tuchel's system. To get the best out of Ziyech, I think a formation change would be better for him. It's really a big shame for Pulisic, though, isn't it? Because he got injured last international break, and if we thought it was only going to be a couple of weeks, and then we're finishing this international break, and Tuchel's already said that he's not been training all week, and he's not fit again. So it's very hard to expect where he's going to play and how are these injuries going to end, because it's a real shame, because there's a top player in there. We've seen that, but if you're not fit, you can't show your ability, and that's where we need him. We need him on the pitch, and sadly, we're not getting that at the moment, are we, with him?
Sorry, I cut out. I'm so sorry, you guys. I just connected to my phone hotspot, so hopefully the connection is clear. Hopefully I'm not so laggy. I have like full data, so I have to get this sorted. Hopefully it's better. I'm really sorry, guys. But yeah, I heard like up to the last like 5 or 10 seconds, and totally agree with what you said there. Yeah, so I think Ziyech potentially could be in trouble, and I really hope that Christian Pulisic can stay fit and get some match fitness, because like you said, he can be so dangerous, and especially sometimes when I feel like we struggle to break down low blocks or really defensive sides that are just going to sit back. I feel like you need somebody who's just going to like run in and draw players to them and try to create space elsewhere, and that's exactly what Pulisic does. And I don't think that we have somebody that does it to the level. Like Callum does do it, but I think that he needs more time. I think that Pulisic is slightly ahead if I'm comparing the two of them in terms of what they're producing, but also Cho has been played out of position a lot. So it's difficult. Pulisic, I don't think we're ever going to see on the left again. Like, that is his best position, I think, but we haven't seen him there in so long.
Yeah. I think Pulisic offers something that a lot of the Mount or the Ziyech or Hudson-Odoi, he offers. He's very clinical in front of goal, which the other ones sometimes miss chances. If he gets a chance, I always have confidence that he'll actually score it, which is a really good thing. We didn't really have that last season much, where I was confident players would finish off chances. We kept getting the chances and not scoring. And obviously we've got Lukaku now, and now the chances aren't coming. But with Pulisic, if he's fit and he's playing and he gets a chance, I expect him to finish the chance more than I would other players. So he's got a good chance of getting back into the team if he just can keep himself fit.
Totally agree. What are your thoughts about Callum? Because he hasn't been getting like so much game time, and when he does, he's been played out of position. I think we've seen him maybe like once playing on the left, but do you think that that's where we're going to get the best out of him? And do you think that he can eventually get a starting spot? Maybe, do you think he should have gone on loan? Maybe. Because I feel like there's a lot of players ahead of him, and maybe for his personal development, it could have been better to get consistent game time somewhere. What do you think?
Yeah, now the window's gone and he's still not playing regularly. Yeah, he started against Southampton in a more attacking role, and he did well. But long term, do we expect him to start ahead of Mount and Havertz or Werner? It's very hard. And as you've just said with Pulisic, his best position as well as Pulisic is kind of on the left, and we don't really play that type of formation. So I would have rather have loaned him personally, because I feel like there's such a good player in there, but you can't get the best out of him just playing 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and then not playing for 4 weeks, and then playing right wing back, and then, do you know what I mean? He's more an explosive attacking player, and if you're playing him at a wing back kind of role, you're not getting the best out of him, and he's not progressing his career. Yes, I'm happy that he's actually getting game time. So when he's playing right wing back, I'm actually happy because he's actually playing. But for his progression and getting the best out of him in his career, I feel like a loan would have done better, because in 12 months' time, if we've got like Pulisic still with an injury doubts and Ziyech still not kicking on, we could have really used them to get rid of them and then bring Hudson-Odoi in. We might have had like 40 games and X amount of goals and assists and confidence-wise. So I thought a loan was better for him, but it's not happened. But we'll see what happens in January, because it's very hard for Tuchel to keep all these attacking-minded players happy, because none of them are going to be happy, because we're getting up to times where it's going to come up to the World Cup and things like that, and none of them are not going to want to be international players. So it's going to be an interesting one to keep them all happy. So we'll see what happens in the January window.
Yeah, I think he's been doing a brilliant job with it, but it must be so incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier when you're winning, and because we won the Champions League, people are just happier, and they don't kind of mourn as much. But if things start to go wrong, as we've seen under many managers, if we have like a little bit of a bad patch where we usually do around the winter time, November, December, then will players start to say, I want to start playing more, and then we'll start seeing unrest in the squad, and it's very hard to see what happens, because it's crazy. Because if you asked me 2 weeks ago what I would predict, I would have never predicted Barkley would have been coming off the bench doing what you're doing, Ruben starting games. You can't predict some things. If you asked me in the summer, would Alonso get 7 games at the start of the season?
Yeah.
The unpredictable, especially at Chelsea, and that's why we like this sport, because we think we can like nail down a starting 11, and we could all have like an opinion on a team, but 2 weeks down the line, we could all have changed our minds. And it's the same with like Rudiger and Christensen. Back end with Lampard, people would have just been saying, yeah, let's get rid of him in the summer. Now we're all fighting for him to stay and wanting them to sign new deals. It's a fast changing thing, and hopefully one of them three players out of Ziyech, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi kick on in the next few months, and they're the ones that are starting. But who knows? You can never predict it.
Especially under Tuchel, with Tuchel roulette, you really can't. Anybody could get a chance, really. So, kind of like to close out our discussion on this game tomorrow, the Brentford game. What do you think the score prediction is going to be?
I'm gonna go for a. I
So
want to say 1-0. I want to say a 1-0 win, but I'm nervous with international players coming back and they're not really having time to train. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I'm going to predict 2-1 Chelsea. The worry I have, and we've not mentioned it, is Anthony Taylor's the referee for the match. And and I'm not going to lie. It makes me nervous.
I really was shocked to just see the list of incidents that have happened. Honestly, it just feels like every time there's something, and at this point, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it just feels like it's too much to be a coincidence.
I tried to. I wrote a piece about it, kind of listing some of the bad things he's done, but at the same time, it's football, and I try and give him the benefit of the doubt that it's a fast-paced game and everybody can make mistakes, kind of thing. But when you just keep looking at the list, you go, another one, and another one. Maybe this is just like this is maybe a coincidence and things like that. So yeah, I try and give him the benefit of the doubt, but it does worry me.
Yeah. Totally agree on that one. Thank you for the love. Totally, so appreciate it. So we have a question from NR Chuckster, and they ask, "Hi Liz, where do you think Georgie will rank in the Ballon d'Or?" And I kind of did a video on this, and I think it's going to be really interesting because for me personally, I think it should probably go to Messi because his stats have been absolutely unreal, and I think we just normalize it because he's Messi and he does season over season for however long, but it's absolutely insane. But Georgie has had a more brilliant season in terms of the trophies that he's won, and he has had a massive impact to the teams that he's played in for the Champions League, in the Euros as well, won UEFA Player of the Season. But so for me, it comes down to is it more individual absolute brilliance, or what you've won but still having an amazing season? But what do you think?
It's very hard. It's very hard because, as you said, Georgie's won 3 trophies, hasn't he? And one of them being with Italy, where he was really good in that tournament, wasn't he? I was loving watching him for Italy because I've seen the Jorginho that Sarri bought. The just playing just behind the midfielders and picking out passes. He's kind of changed his role now in Chelsea. He's kind of playing in a 2. He's still doing the same kind of job, but Messi's just so good that people, as you say, just forget how good he's been. And when he has a bad couple of games, people expect him to. He doesn't get away with anything, does he? Really, if he doesn't score for 2 games, people are on his back. But if somebody doesn't score for 10 games, it's okay, kind of. Yeah. So, Georgie, where will he rank? I think Messi will, or somebody else will just beat Georgie to the post because of Georgie's done well, but I think it's more the team has done well as well. With Chelsea winning the Champions League, he did well, but I think the whole team was doing well. I'd say Rudiger and Azpilicueta was really good in that. Mendy was really good in that Champions League win, and the Super Cup is a one-off game, so I'm not going to really count that one as he should win it because he's won the Super Cup kind of thing. But yeah, I'd say second or third. I think he'll get.
Yeah, I'm thinking Messi, Lewandowski, and then maybe Georgie. And kind of like how you touched on, if I'm looking at who impacted Chelsea the most in their Champions League run, like I really strongly feel that it's N'Golo Kante. I thought that he was absolutely brilliant, and to get 3 Man of the Match awards and then another one versus Atletico, 3 back-to-back Man of the Match awards, both legs against Real Madrid, and then in the final as well. Like, who freaking does that? N'Golo Kante, like
Kante does
that is
that.
insane. But I feel like because France didn't go that far in the Euros, like he's
Yeah.
kind of getting overlooked. And he shouldn't win it, but I'm just comparing. If I have to compare the two, I think that Conte had a stronger impact, at least in the Champions League, because he had one of the best individual performances that I've seen. He was everywhere. It was insane. He was an absolute nightmare to deal with. And just looking through the comments, yeah, everybody's just like agreeing with us about the game tomorrow. I don't know. I'm always nervous for games. But Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to hop on my channel and to chat Chelsea. I know that you have another stream as well, so I want to be cognizant of that. It's pretty late here, so I'm gonna try to eat something. But thank you so much for coming on. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, Carefree Youth on Twitter, and I work for Now Football London as a Chelsea fan brand editor, and we're looking forward to hopefully doing some really great things in the future. So hopefully keep your eyes peeled and see me in the future.
That's so cool. It's just like congrats again on that position, because that's absolutely insane that
Thank
you
you.
get to work in football. Love it. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, drop it a like. Make sure to sub to my channel. All of the usual stuff, but honestly, it helps me out so much. Thanks for spending a part of your Friday evening with us. I really appreciate it, and let's hope that Chelsea get the win tomorrow. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, I'm out.